90s action comics are alive and well. Got one for you today. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Yes, I am back with a rapid review today. Before we get into the title of the book and everything, just wanted to give a shout out to Paige, the creator. Appreciate you hitting us up, wondering if we wanted to read it and check it out, and sending over a copy for us to look at. But with that said, we're not being told what to say or anything. All thoughts and opinions are mine. So let's talk about everything. We are here today to talk about Blowtorch Bad Roads #1, created by Alfred Page, script by Alex DeGrucci. Please let me know if I got that right. If not, let me know in the comments. Art by Igor Kurilin, and letters and design by Seda Temofonte. Again, let me know the correct pronunciations. Feel free to hit me up. I want to make sure I get this right, especially if I get a chance to review a future issue of this book. So, a little bit of a background. This book is, I think, a spin-off from a main universe that Page does called Chess. And basically, they're a military strike team. This book centers around Richard, who is an ex-mercenary of that strike team, Chess. He's basically, the book starts, he's on his way home from his uncle's funeral, and he stops at a small town in Kentucky, and that's basically where the fun begins. He stops at a gas station. That's basically where the story starts out. He's pumping up gas. Off to the side, they show a couple of local gang guys, just a couple of hicks, that are eyeing Richard's SUV. As he goes inside to pay and get a few extra things, these guys steal it and run off. And basically what Richard does is he gets the owner of the store to, at the very least, tell him where the guys are. He says, I have no problems tracking my vehicle. I just need to know how long of a walk I'm looking at. He tells him probably about, I think he says 3 miles down the road. So Richard, of course, GPS tracks it, and he goes. This is where, like I say, the 90s part of this comes in. If anybody remembers 90s action stuff, it was really kind of a no frills deal. They jump into the action, they get going into the story pretty quick, and it's not always super complex, but I will definitely say, as I get through the review, there is a bit of a twist, and I will say it shouldn't spoil the book yet, at least for anybody, I don't think, because of the simple fact that while it's something that I noticed and was mentioned, it's not really dug into. It might be in a couple of future issues. I don't know. But with that said, so Richard pulls up to the farm, and he notices that this is actually a pretty big group of people. It's an organized gang led by a leader called Conroy. This dude is a prick. That's just the best way to put it. He's an a-hole. You see them having a meeting, and they bring up a guy, and Conroy's talking to him, and he tells him, basically he knows that he's holding out on his share, and the guy tells him, I don't know what you're talking about. I give you, basically a big amount of it. But it ends up with Conroy basically just stabs the dude in the throat and leaves him for dead. And he tells a couple guys, just go toss him, weigh him down so much that they will never find the body. So as this is going on, Richard is kind of sneaking around, and he gets up kind of next to a wooden shed with a guard. And he takes out the guard, obviously pretty easily, being a mercenary. But he hears some knocking and noise inside, and he opens the door, and he sees a kid in there tied up. And yeah, he's a mercenary, but the guy's got a heart. So he obviously goes, he's like, Jesus Christ. And he unties it. As soon as he unties the kid, he runs out, and he keeps going. He's like, Daddy, there's an intruder on the farm. Kid turns out, as you learn a couple pages later, to be Conroy's son. What ensues right after this is essentially, I want to say 4 or 5 pages worth of just straight, non-stop action. It is a massive shootout, brilliantly drawn by Igor. Brilliantly drawn. You really could feel the back and forth. Everybody shooting at each other. basically what ends up happening, and it's not only, I should say, not only is it shooting, it's fist fight, it's, takedowns, knives being thrown, plus gunshots. It is everything that you expect in a large action scene taking place over these several pages. Richard ends up being able to get into his SUV, and he gets it started, and he's trying to get away, and there's a dude basically stuck on the windshield. He's trying to shake the guy, and it's not working. And the dude eventually just pulls out a shotgun, and boom, he takes one big shot, and he actually does clip Richard, I think right here, kind of in the shoulder, it looks like, and it basically gets the car off course because he can't see, and he wrecks it. And it's, again, another page and a half worth of fighting, and they finally kind of get the better of him. Somebody comes up behind and smacks him with the barrel of a gun. During this whole ordeal, this whole shootout, you see Conroy come out and get involved in this. Conroy gets shot, at least if I'm remembering this panel correctly, Conroy gets shot straight in the head. He comes walking in when Richard's tied up, and he talks to him like there's nothing going on. And he tells him, he goes, man, that shot, he goes, kind of hurting a little bit. And that to me is a little bit of the twist. It's like, how the heck did this guy get shot, what looks like straight through the brain, and he's perfectly fine? So, Paige, or anybody that's reading this, I gotta know if that was something intentional that you put there that might be brought to light down the road, because I'm very curious, unless I just completely misinterpreted the art in that panel. And if that's the case, let me know. But that truly intrigued me as to how somebody got shot in the head and he's okay. And so, yeah, and basically that is where the book ends, is he's tied up. He tells him, basically, he goes, I'm going to go take care of something. I'll be back in an hour. And if you don't talk, I'm going to burn you, is basically what he tells him. And that's basically where the book ends right there. Like I said, this book was no frills. It's straight in your face. It's action. That's exactly what I was hoping for when I read the descriptions after Paige had asked us if we were interested in reading it. Words are hard today. And that's exactly what I got. And I think for anybody who's a fan of just action in general, be it comics, movies, TV shows, I think this is a series that you will really, really like. And especially if you're a fan of 90s action. I'm a 90s kid, so I love those 80s, 90s actions movies. Art-wise, so I'm going to try to put up on the screen here a little bit, a couple of pages. So you can see the art is black and white and done really, really well. Igor did a great job of drawing and inking this. As you've probably heard me say in some recent videos, I was not the biggest fan of black and white books when I first started reading comics, but over the last year and a half or so, I've really started to enjoy how good just a nice black and white, just pencils and inks type comic is. And this is one of those, and I think that really allowed me to enjoy this story for what it was. You'll notice one thing I didn't explain at the top, that Richard has a mask on, and that is because out in public, his face is scarred so bad from his mercenaries days and whatnot. He wears the mask to cover up those scars. I will fully admit I have not read any of the Chess series yet, but I do know about it. As I've got Paige as a friend on Facebook, so I've seen him post and talk about Chess. So I at least was familiar with where this book was coming from. I didn't come into it completely blind. That said, even if you've never heard of the Chess series, I think you will come into this series and you will actually enjoy it and really want to read issue 2, and then maybe, like me, go back and check out that main story arc of Chess. I'm not entirely sure if Paige has that out through a publisher or if that's maybe a straight Kickstarter book. I've seen both, I want to say. But yeah, definitely check to see if it is available for order with your LCS and check it out. This book was released, I want to say, a week or two ago at the time of this video. So it is out in comic shops, or at least available to order through your LCS. So please leave a comment. Let me know how I've described the things and how some of the artwork, if that got you to want to check out the series. And then if you did, let me know what you thought of it. If you've already heard of the series and read it before this video, again, leave your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear it. I know Paige would like to hear about it, as well as the rest of the team. Alright, so yeah, that's my review of Blowtorch Bad Roads #1. As always, if you liked what you saw at any point during this video, please be sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know anytime we upload a new video. Keep an eye out for any new content. I will definitely say that we're going to be moving soon, so some of the content might be a little slower for a month or two as we all get settled, but we will definitely try to keep everything coming. As always, please, you stay safe, stay healthy, and I will catch everyone next time. Later.